name's Trent Schulte, and for those of you who don't know me, I guess you can call me one of Nick's best friends or even his brother. A few days ago, I was asked by Leslie if I could speak about Nick and the memories we shared together. Knowing Nick for most of my life, you would think it'd be easy to choose a great story to tell about him. The truth is, picking memories is hard to do because you never know if it was going to be the right one that defines Nick. So I decided, why not choose a story that embodies what Nick stood for? But when I thought of this, it made everything seem so much easier because he was a man that had many great traits. First off, for those of you who don't know, Nick was a 2-year starter on JV and went back and forth his junior year between varsity and junior varsity. Nick wasn't always the player he was today. He had a terrible shot, bad footwork, and an undeniable talent to drop the ball. Not to mention he was also about 5'6" at the time. At the end of his third year, Nick wasn't satisfied where he was, so it was time for him to put in the work. He wasn't one of those kids to just settle for average. After countless hours of endless wall ball shooting in practice, it was finally time for Nick's senior year. Through his hard work and dedication, Nick had entered the senior year as Coronado's starting attackman and one of the captains. Throughout the year, our team had its ups and downs, but Nick had managed to keep his head afloat and push forward and become one of Coronado's best leaders we've ever had, and had ended his senior year breaking the all-time school record for most points in a single season, earning the nickname El Gun. With the hard work he had put in, Nick was the greatest asset to our team. It's pretty amazing that he went back and forth from JV and varsity for all 3 years and managed to come out of our varsity season, his senior year, as the leading point scorer of all time in Coronado history so far. It was all because of his dedication. Another memory actually comes from another player on our team. I asked this person, Andrew Mathis, if I could share his story he told us on our Coronado Facebook page. And because every time I read it, for some reason it gives me goosebumps, so I thought I'd share it. It just shows how wonderful a person Nick really was. And I quote, "I didn't know Nick nearly as long as any of you, but when I moved here last year, he welcomed me into the Coronado family when I felt like no one else wanted to. He always had a smile on his face and was a great leader. He never thought someone was too small or too big for him, and he embraced everyone the same. For that, he will always be in my heart no matter what," unquote. Loving and compassionate, Nick was truly a man that possessed great traits, and we have Al and Leslie to thank for that. The last story of Nick and I takes place about 6 or 7 years ago. Nick and I, every summer since the beginning of middle school, had taken part in the Silver Strand Junior Lifeguard Program. And in this program, it teaches you to be a better swimmer, how to stay smart when it comes to the ocean, and to essentially become a lifeguard. One day after lifeguards, Nick and I decided to go swimming. So we started to go out, and for some reason, it seemed like these waves just seemed to get bigger and bigger. And at this point, I was getting a little nervous. These waves were literally houses like rolling at us. So about halfway out, little old me started to get nervous, and I decided that these waves were a little out of my zone, and to be honest, I was a little scared. So I started yelling at Nick, telling him that we should probably turn around before we get eaten by one of these waves. He then looked at me with a strange look on his face and just kept going. Not wanting to show I was scared, I kept swimming out after him. We had been challenged by wave after wave until we had finally passed the surf, or so we thought. Out of nowhere, a wave had come upon us, and no joke, this thing was probably the size of a house or even a garage. Nick had then thought it'd be kind of rad to body surf this wave in, and talked me into doing it with him. swimming as hard as I could. I looked down the face of this wave and thought to myself, maybe I shouldn't. Holding back, I thought to myself, I just witnessed my friend drown. When out of nowhere, like a whale breaching the surface, Nick had come out, gasping for air. He then looked at me and said, damn. Memories like these always make me smile, always put a smile on my face. And Nick always pushes me, and I always push him to keep going and overcome any obstacle that we face in life. From lacrosse to junior lifeguards to just being goofy kids, the memories made with Nick will be in my heart forever, and I'm truly blessed to have known him, not as a friend, but as a brother. I love you.
Summer has come and passed, the innocent can now